In September 2025, Los Angeles authorities made a grisly discovery. Locked inside the trunk of an abandoned vehicle in Hollywood was a human body. The victim was identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a 14-year-old girl who had been missing for months. But the registration on that vehicle belonged to David Burke, better known to millions online as the viral TikTok musician D4vd. Burke had recently gained rapid global fame. His track Romantic Homicide propelled him from recording songs on his phone to signing with Interscope Records and performing live for massive crowds at the 2025 Coachella Music Festival. A rising pop star and a missing teenager colliding in a Hollywood homicide sparked intense public curiosity. To protect their ongoing investigation, authorities immediately sealed all details of her death, creating a massive, agonizing information vacuum. That official silence finally broke in April 2026, inside a Los Angeles courthouse. This diagram represents the primary finding. Celeste suffered multiple penetrating injuries, specifically 2 sharp-force torso wounds, indicating a bladed object. The report also detailed a second disturbing finding, the deliberate dismemberment of her extremities. Yet, for all its clinical detail, the report carries a glaring omission. The examiners could not specify what actual objects or weapons caused either the penetrating torso wounds or the dismemberment. The autopsy confirms a highly violent, deliberate homicide occurred, but the mechanical details of the murder weapon remain a complete mystery. To understand why those details are missing, we have to look at the timeline. Prosecutors allege Celeste originally disappeared in April 2025 after visiting Burke's home in the Hollywood Hills. This timeline visualizes the gap of 5 long months between her disappearance in April and the recovery of her remains in September. In a forensic investigation, time is an enemy. The medical examiners explicitly noted their autopsy was severely limited by extensive postmortem changes. Practically speaking, months of biological decay destroyed the crucial forensic markers that investigators typically rely on to piece together a crime scene. The decay was so severe that the medical examiner was forced to list her official time of death as entirely unknown. The passage of time degraded the physical tissue, and that decay erased the definitive chronological anchor the prosecution needs to easily connect their suspect to the actual moment of the murder. As this case heads toward trial, the prosecution is holding what looks like a strong hand of circumstantial evidence. The most damning physical link is undeniable. The victim's dismembered body was recovered directly from a Tesla registered in his name. But defense attorney Blair Burke has planted a very specific flag, stating, "The actual evidence will show David Burke did not murder Celeste, nor was he the cause of her death." In a courtroom, an unknown time of death and a missing murder weapon are powerful tools. A defense team can weaponize those forensic blind spots to suggest that someone else could have interacted with the vehicle or the victim during that massive 5-month window. The defense doesn't have to solve the murder. They only have to use those ambiguities to wedge open a window of reasonable doubt. At the center of this legal maneuvering is a 14-year-old girl whose final moments have been obscured by time and are now the focal point of a highly publicized legal strategy. The medical report confirms she met a horrific and violent end, but its missing pieces prevent it from guaranteeing a conviction. Ultimately, the case hinges on whether the justice system can cut through a degraded autopsy and a celebrity defense to assign definitive responsibility for Celeste's death.